G'day fellas and welcome to a very special casted game spawning in on the north side of the map. Playing as the Red French, we've got Beastie Cutie. On the opposite side of the map, spawning in as the blue English player, it is the one, the only, the Viper. And he's looking incredible today because he is on that English. You know he loves his English and he is looking all ready to get that mill down. You know what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be a little bit of a Dark Age play here, but no early man-at-arms. And the reason why this game is a very special custard game, that is right, it is a special custard game, is because we will potentially see, with the victor of this game, going to Conqueror. That is correct. Ranked seasons are out, ladies and gentlemen. If you have been sleeping under a rock, then it is my job to inform you that ranked seasons are here and players are now fighting on the ranked ladder, which means that you get a nice little shiny profile picture. There's lots of other good stuff that go along with it, not just cosmetics, but you've got bragging rights as well. And right now, one player is currently poised to take Conqueror. If he is victorious this game, he will go into the history books as the very first Age of Empires 4 Conqueror player. It is not the Viper. It is indeed Beastie Cutie. The man is looking absolutely crazy right now. He is sitting at 37-2 on the ranked ladder. Obviously coming off a very strong win in N4C. He's been looking good in Golden League. And he is looking to take on the Viper today and cement himself in Age of Empires 4 history. And the question is going to be whether he can do it. Now, before we get into this any further, I just want to let you guys know Beastie Cutie, in addition to being a great player, is also a great content creator. So I encourage you, I'll leave a link in the description, go check him out. I am a big fan of him. He did this hilarious video recently where he was watching, someone posted on Reddit that there was an unstoppable strategy. And he literally commented in the Reddit thread and he's like, hey man, can you tell me what your profile is? And like, I want to check out the strategy, dude. And he checked out the strategy and he watched it. And to be fair, it was kind of like, it was a good strategy, but it wasn't unstoppable. I mean, there was a lot wrong, but anyway, I'm not going to leave, I'm not going to tell you the end of it. I want you guys to go out and check it yourself. It's a hilarious video. In fact, I'll leave a link in the description to that specific video because I want you guys to go and watch that. But it is absolutely hilarious. But let's talk a little bit about this game, about how we expect it to unfold. Because Beastie Cutie here, he's going to be on the French. And I think that this is a matchup that a lot of people don't really know which way it would go. And to be fair, I'm kind of the same. I'm kind of in that camp. You've got the English here who do quite effectively against the French because they've got that extra damage from their longbowmen. They've also got the extra range, so it helps out in trades a lot. But at the same time, French have got they got a lot of nice timings. So I'm curious to see exactly how Beastie's going to look to play this one, whether he's going to be looking to go for a relatively quick castle age, whether he's going to look to go for a bit of a forward keep, whether he's going to be, getting those raids down. And English are typically a civilization that's quite difficult to raid. As you can see, all of the farms going to be nice and close to the town center. Beastie now ready to age up. School of Cavalry coming down underneath the town center here. Plenty of ills on gold as well. We could see, you know what, we probably wouldn't see a professional scouts coming out today. But we'll take a look now down towards Viper's base now. You might be wondering what the heck is going on with Viper's farms here. This is interesting. So Viper is doing what is called the Vortex Mill. So essentially what it does is you can see this villager is slightly closer to the town center. And so normally this farm would be sitting right here. And so it would be sitting, one tile away from the town center, but it would be dropping into this side here. And it's a little bit more walking distance. So essentially it saves you on a walking distance. It also makes it so that your villagers are a little bit safer as well, especially playing up against a civ like the French. Can you imagine, a knight comes rushing in to save the day and all of a sudden the villager, well, it's already close to the town center. Normally it would be out here. Maybe it takes an extra hit. Maybe it dies. And as a result, your villager stays alive. So that's just a little adaptation on the farming that people have been looking to do. They've emulated Vortex there, a great little find by him, and a great little efficiency. It's a very small detail, let's just put it that way. But at the same time, it can have a big impact. But now, Beastie Cutie going for a one villager School of Cavalry. Have a look at this. This is something I haven't seen before. He is quite literally building his landmark with a single villager. Now, I don't know if this is a misplay or whether this is a big brain move coming out from the man. So we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to see what he's up to. But this is interesting. Now, he anticipates that Viper's going to be slow to age as well. You can see that even though Viper is slow to age, he does have 4 villagers on that landmark. But suffering a lot of pressure in the early game, Viper has been routinely attacking this gold mine and preventing any gathering of gold. And you can see these villagers are quite low on health out here. These guys were the ones gathering up gold, but 161 gold sits there at the moment. And now we have Beastie Cutie going for a second town center. Is that what he's doing? Is that the play here? He's looking to get that second town center up nice and early. And I won't be the first to say it. People are doing... Actually, will I be the first to say it? I don't know if that's the right term. But anyway... people are starting to do against English. I'm noticing a lot more. Double town center against English. English used to be a civilization that you would never double town center against because they're going to be hitting you with their longbowmen, with their spearmen, with their battering rams. And the problem is that with English, they now go for this more economic focus. They get the wheelbarrow in Dark Age. They get all of their farms. And they still hit you with all those things. They still hit you with the spearmen. They still hit you with the longbows. It's just that it's a little bit later. We can see Viper aging up here at about 5 minutes 50. So it's going to be a pretty late age up for him. And as a result, Beastie Cutie says, well, hold on a minute. If you're going to do that, I'm just going to age up nice and late. I'm going to get my town center down, and you're not even going to be able to stop me. And so that's exactly what he looks to do. And now going to be heading out. Probably, is he going out to the deer hunt over here? If he is, that's probably a wise decision. Let's see exactly where he goes. He could be coming up to the north as well. This is quite a decent spot. But typically what players have been doing is looking to draw attention to their second town center, like specifically putting it on hunts like this, and then it sort of makes it a point where the English player has got to choose. Do I want to go for the main town center? Do I want to go for the second? And if they go for the second town center, typically it's going to be in a very open location, and that enables the responding player to do quite a bit of damage to the English army, because normally the English army, they'd be pushing in like this, they'd be doing that, you know, they'd have their outposts lined up along the edge of this tree line, and they'd be falling back, and they'd have all their longbows, you know, tucked in like that. It'd be very hard to push into that position. But up here, the English player has almost nowhere to fall back to. So it means that it's very difficult for the English player to deny this, now that they're going for a more economic focus. But now we see that Beastie Cutie has got that horseman out, going to be looking to chase away that scout, but at the same time still managing to get up to the second age. He's got all the infrastructure he needs. His scouts are just chilling out at this point in time. And he's going to just be focusing on making some military. So typically in this situation, you know, you would be looking to scout out your enemy. You'd be saying, okay, what do I do here? How do I respond? When do I add my second town center? Should I go to castle? All of these questions. But Beastie Cutie's not going to do that because he's got a second town center. So he knows that the burden is upon Viper to apply pressure. And he knows that pressure will be coming. And as a result, we see Viper now begins to push in 2 spears, 2 longbowmen. Scout coming around on the back line. Scout going to get picked up by an archer, as well as a couple more scouts. A single horseman going to be coming out here as well. And for anybody wondering why you would see horsemen instead of a knight is very effective at raiding, but the knight is not so effective at actually killing the longbowmen. The longbowmen, you can see they're actually doing a pretty decent job in this scenario of taking down the villages. He might have to think about a secondary wood line, but realistically, this might be all that he's got, and you can see he's actually begun work on it, Beastie Cutie, at the back there, so it makes a lot of sense, considering the way that Viper is pushing in here. But Viper going for a bit of an English death push, doing it the good old-fashioned way. But keep in mind behind this, Viper sitting on 1 town center. He's going for a big eco. He's looking to get his upgrades. Potentially, we'll see deforestation coming, or not deforestation, rather horticulture come in shortly. He will be getting all of these upgrades behind. We can see siege engineering is coming in. We can see steeled arrow is coming in. So he's looking to get his military upgrades first. Then once that is done, once he's finished those off, then he's going to be looking to get his double broadaxe, and he's going to be looking to get all those economic upgrades. But the issue is the Beastie Cutie is on 2 town centers, and that's going to enable him to continue trickling in villages at a higher rate than his opponent. And so even though he's going for that sort of economic focus, he's not really gaining much from doing it. Well, not that he's not gaining stuff or much from it. It's just that his enemy is scaling more effectively. Now, Beastie also did a great little spot here, coming in with a couple of units. You can see the scout is scouting out. The scout is spotting for the units beginning to come across the field, whereas the horsemen lie in wait, ready to take out some of these ranged units as they begin crossing. And now the battering ram begins to come down within the view of Beastie Cutie. So we're going to be looking to see a response here from Beastie. Now, keep in mind, his town center, his second town center rather, is very safe at the back towards here. He's got two archery ranges with a third on the front. Highly likely that this archery range is going to get taken out as well by the battering ram. Scout got to be careful here. Scout got to be careful. Scout's going to go down, unfortunately for Beastie Cutie. A minor lapse in attention results in immediate death for that scout. Unfortunate, but now another outpost comes up. Looks like Beastie Cutie might have to look to migrate. We don't see, there is no scout behind the base here for Viper. That has been denied. But with this outpost going up, Viper could be looking to get arrow slits in. We'll take a look towards the base and see whether he's got any any inkling at stone. It doesn't look like it. There is the stone mine. But now the push begins. Longbowmen teeing off towards those villagers. The villagers do have their textile upgrade. They're going to be A-okay in this scenario. And now begs the question, is Viper doing the right thing to try and take out Beastie Cutie? Typically in this matchup, you'd have to agree it's looking good for him. But there's a lack of arrow slits at this point in time. And typically, you would expect arrow slits to start coming in. One of the things we see from a fellow pro of Viper, it is the Muslim in this scenario, is he looks to add in a lot of outposts. I'm talking a shitload of outposts, but he doesn't even make spearmen. He just makes only longbow. But speaking now, in the middle, look at this. Beastie Cutie once again picking up units. Scout is going to go down, but longbows are going to be taken out. Reinforcements once again getting picked up there by Beastie Cutie, doing a great job to just stop the flow of units coming in towards his base, and as a result, delaying the inevitable push from Viper. Like, obviously, we've got a battering ram in here. It's doing work, it's doing damage, but the death push isn't really coming. It's okay if he loses this. This isn't a big deal. He's got 2 town centers. He's sitting on 48 villages. Compare that to Viper, who's on 33. He's already up 15 villages. He's going to be fine as long as he keeps his head above water. And that's what he's trying to do. Scout got to be going down here. No sneaky scout for you, Mr. Viper. Not today. But now up towards Beastie's base, we continue to see the horsemen beginning to build in numbers. They've also got their +1 damage upgrade. Now looking to get their +1 ranged armor upgrade. And there's not a lot of units here for Viper. More units going to be coming in, and big attention going to be paid right now to that battering ram. We'll enter into the cinematic mode as Beastie Cutie fights to become the world first Conqueror player. Villagers getting pulled as well, helping out with the siege. We've got a whole bunch of spears moving up to the front line. Horsemen need to be careful. Archer's going to be looking to pick them off one by one. He's doing a great job of it. Horsemen have trickled down in number. You can see they're starting to suffer in number, but all of the battering rams have been killed at this point in time, and now the push, it is stifled. It is stopped for this moment. Keep that in mind. But remember, Beastie Cutie is scaling. He is scaling like a madman. He is scaling like you would scale a fish right now, like you would scale a wall. He is doing all of those scaling things. He's measuring things with his scales, probably weights. He is a scaling machine because he is on 2 town centers, whereas Viper is on 1. And not only that, he's playing French. And remember, French make their town centers much faster. French make their villages much faster. Oh my lord. The French make their villages much faster than the English do. We can see that Viper sitting on 35 compared to Beastie Cutie, who's on 58, so more than a 20 villager difference now. And now Beastie looks for a counterattack. Just when Viper was applying pressure to the wound at the front, he now faces a consequence or a threat in his own base. And it looks like Beastie Cutie is going to be sacrificing a fair bit of his own agency to come out and do this. It's going to be looking to try and defend on this front, but Beastie knows that there's no threat from Viper. Sure, you can hit me with a battering ram, but you don't have 2. I'm not going to lose the town center. Not only can I come here, apply pressure to your wood line, but all of a sudden, I can also, draw your units back. And we can see that all the units now on the front, they're kind of scared. They don't know whether they should go back. They don't know whether they should chill out. And if they do move out, then they're not going to be under the safety of the outposts. And now we see units continuing to build up here in Beastie's base, and Viper starting to look a little bit concerned. Beastie starting to take control of this game, and keep in mind, if Beastie does win this game, he will become the world's first Conqueror player. It will be happening if it is him. Now, keep in mind, Viper very close in rank to him. Outpost going to be coming up here as well. I'm not sure how many villagers were lost in the murder of that boar, but now villagers in the middle of the map also going to get picked up. Beastie Cutie managing to find it. Viper looking to find a way back into this game. His first push was absolutely knocked back by Beastie Cutie, but now Beastie Cutie looking to find the units of Viper. This could be terrible for Viper as we enter into the cinematic mode. Viper getting outnumbered by a huge amount here. Beastie looking to get the perfect engagement. You can see he's even waiting for the rest of his archers to come in. Spears entering into the stealth forest, trying to hide for just a short amount of time, but unfortunately going to get caught out once again by the archers. And now so many units coming through here for Beastie Cutie that Viper loses a massive amount. And this is the consequence of moving away from those outposts. We talked about it a little bit earlier. These outposts over on the front going to give you a great defensive front to prevent any sort of losses. And now Beastie looks to take control of the game, moving out, going to be stopping that scout from doing any real damage. And now he has the ball in his court. He looks to do all the damage here against Viper. And beautiful economy he's got behind this. He's diversified his income. He's taken the boar. He's on the berries. He's on farms. He's got the deer that were under his town center that he's exhausted. He's moved on to multiple different wood lines because as a result of losing this front, he's gone and had to find separate wood. You can see he's exhausted this wood on the back. Man-at-Arms comes through. Beastie Cutie looking to try and take it out, and indeed at the same time beginning to push upon Viper. Viper now dropping down an outpost. He senses that there is blood in the water. Beastie Cutie looks to try and finish this game right now, pushing into the wood line once again. More and more villagers escaping from that wood line, going to be falling back, but now longbows trying their best to fend off this attack, but there's a lot of archers here for Beastie Cutie. He continues to push, he continues to pressure, he continues to prod, and Viper now looking to get more upgrades, +1 attack. Going to be coming in for his melee units. He's trying to hold on. A huge amount of farm sitting underneath this town center as well. What kind of upgrades has he got? No horticulture just yet. Does he have double broadaxe? He doesn't even have his double broadaxe. He never got the economic upgrades through. He was going for a death push, and unfortunately, Beastie Cutie didn't die. So now Beastie Cutie looks to try and take control of this game completely with a battering ram. Going to be coming in from the backside, as all good battering rams do. And now up towards the north, we spot Beastie Cutie's beautiful base. It is in somewhat tatters towards the front, but towards the back, the infrastructure is strong. The health of the villagers, good. And he has got a total of 73 villagers right now. Viper sitting on 42 villagers. A 30 villager gap has begun to build, and it starts to look more and more likely that Beastie Cutie will be promoted to Conqueror and go on to become Age of Empires 4. They're very... How do I say that? Age of Empires 4's first Conqueror player. That's how I say it right there. Now, Beastie Cutie got to be careful here with the battering ram. Villagers getting pulled from the outpost and the wood line, and villagers looking to try and take out that battering ram. Not going to be able to find it. It's down to half health points. We'll enter into the cinematic mode as the archers begin to push underneath the town center. The villagers have evacuated all of the farms, and we hear a counterattack up towards the north. Villagers going down on the wood line for Viper. He's got to be careful evacuating towards the outpost, not having a whole lot of luck. Battering ram once again going to be under pressure from those villagers. They enter back inside the town center. We hear attacks going off all over the map right now. Viper is just under or attacking men-at-arms heading towards his enemy's base. A battering ram up towards Beastie's base. More men-at-arms coming in, and Beastie under pressure. He looks to try and turn his attention, Viper does, towards the base of Beastie, and he's doing the right thing. If he wants to get back into this base, or into this game, and now we see Viper losing villagers on the board. At the same time, Viper having villagers, or chasing villagers back towards that second town center, and now Beastie Cutie going to be able to go up to the next age. We hear the castle age timing coming through for him, and it's going to be terrible damage for Viper, because once Beastie Cutie gets up to the castle age, there's going to be Arbitria. There's going to be absolutely plenty of units flooding in. There's going to be men-at-arms, and we've got a guild hall going down for Beastie Cutie in the back of his base. At the same time, towards the front of Beastie Cutie's base, villagers continue dying. Is down to 73. Actually, that was how many villagers he was on before. He's stagnant at 73 villagers. I'm sure some have died, but I'm sure some have been made. And now at the same time, Beastie Cutie looks to clean up towards this this position back towards his base. He's going to be able to do it. There's not really any threat at this point in time. And he's looking incredibly good. The military population at the moment for Beastie Cutie sitting on 30, Viper on 11. He is down on villager count. He is down on economic unit count. And Beastie Cutie is on his way to the third age. 11 villagers tapping away at that landmark. Viper going to be sitting in his base. He's got his farms, but he doesn't have much more than that. Continuing to train men-at-arms, continuing to train longbowmen. But really, there is not a lot on this map for him. He's got a single battering ram that appears to be guarding a boar and a relic together. But other than that, Viper is looking absolutely stressed. And now Beastie about to age up to the next stage. We see that guild hall ready to go, ready to begin providing gold, providing food, stone, wood, whatever it is that he looks to go for. And then now he reaches that castle age, and we see the upgrades beginning to come in. We've got specialized pick and chivalry on the way, a bunch of knights transitioning, and Viper taps out. Beastie Cutie is the world's first Conqueror player. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed it here. Fellas, check out Beastie Cutie. I'm going to leave a link in the description to that video I was talking about in the beginning. Congratulations to Beastie Cutie. Incredibly exciting to see the world first Conqueror player for Age of Empires 4 coming in strong. And it is, of course, Beastie Cutie.